Hey guys, good morning, good morning. On this today's video, actually, I'm gonna be teaching you guys on how to deploy your PHP scripts from your local server to a live server to a deployment stages. So it's going to be a very fast video due to the time I actually have to record. So what I'm actually going to do now, our class is going to be in three phases. First is to upload, second is create a database, set up the database, while fourth is to actually import our SQL. So first I'm going to do, I'm going to be showing you the application I actually want to import to my database. This is actually the application, and you can see the application on the live server. So when you look at it, this is the local server. So what we're actually going to do now right now is to first thing we're going to extract, then create a folder, then upload our application. First thing we're going to do right now is to go to my cPanel. This is actually my cPanel. If you don't have cPanel, you can get any in Namecheap. I actually recommend to use Namecheap to be able to run this particular application. So what I'm actually going to do right now is to go to my file manager. This file manager, this is where you actually upload your this is where you upload your application or your HT public underscore folder. So actually on my public folder here, this is the public folder. This is where you upload your application, so they in this place, so you can view it live. Now you can see I have a lot of folder on my public HTML. So what I'm actually going to do right now, I'm going to be creating another it's a folder where I can install this application. I can give it any kind of name I want. So right now I come to a folder. I can say okay, Skyline scripts. So this is the name of the name I can use to access my application. We usually call it subfolder. After that, what you're going to do right now, you're going to click on create. So after you actually done that, let's look at if you can see Skyline folder, which is S, should be down. Okay, okay, this is Skyline script here. I can just navigate on it to open it. Then when you look at the head, the head here, you can see public underscore folder / Skyline script. Now let's try to access this directory and see what's going to happen. Let's see Skyline. Okay, this is Skyline. Sorry, this is Skyline. Then underscore folder. So here you can see the folder here, the index folder here is empty. So we're actually going to the second stage, which means we are going to upload our files. Then after uploading that, we can then extract the files on our server. So right now, this is the files already. I've actually extracted it already. Extraction to actually zip it already. To zip the file is very simple. Right click, then just use send to. This is how you can be able to zip a file. So if you already have a zip folder, all you need to do is to drag it and drop it to a particular folder. Now what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to upload my script to my folder, just like the way you usually upload any of the files. I'm going to upload it on the folder. So when I come here, I'm going to click on upload. They will take me to this particular page where I can then drag my files, actually drag it to upload the files. Now next we're going to do right now is come down here. That's something I forgot to tell you earlier. Now when you look at these two files, now this is what we call the SQL files, though they are all the same. This is the SQL files. So we're going to be importing only this particular file, which is a normal PHP file. Then after that, we can now upload this SQL letter. That should be one after we've created our database. Good. So we're going to come back later when it's done uploading. Then we can then continue what we are doing. But nevertheless, in for us to wait when the file is finished uploading, we can use that opportunity to create our database. So the next thing we're going to be doing right now, we're going to create database. So go back to the cPanel, and then look for where we have a database SQL. Click on the database SQL. Then my network is a bit slow, it's actually coming up. Then what we're going to do now, we can look at this page, create database. When you look at this particular name here, this is the name, the username of my cPanel. So whenever you create a database name, it on default it carries on that username underscore the database name. So that's what you can see here. So I'm going to say Skyline Skyline data. So create. You can see successfully in a green background, successful. So this is the database name. I'm going to be creating the database username to enable us add our username. You scroll down, you can see at this place add username. Then what I'm going to be doing is to decide to use the same name, but it doesn't matter. You can use any name you like. So it doesn't actually matter. So here is where we can put our password and also put the same password again. But I'm actually not going to be using a default I'm not going to be creating any password. So actually going to be using a auto-generated password so that my SQL password can be very strong to avoid people hacking into the SQL. But do this thing only for this particular video. I'm going to be deleting that. I'm going to be deleting this database anywhere from now. So click on generate. Then here I've generated my password. I copy it and click on I have copied this password in the same place. Then use the password. Then I click on create. So so what next is to save this database information. So I've gotten the so I can see notepad. I want to try to save this password as well. Notepad. Why is it taking much time? Okay. Okay. Database password. We're going to be saving this database information here. So this is my database password. We're going to be using it later in order to connect to our SQL. So as I said earlier, we're going to be using this password later, any moment from now. Now, next thing we're going to do is to add our database to our database, giving the database to privileges. It means that we actually want to add our database password and database. We are going to tell the database to recognize our database username and password. Remember, the username has password we created. Now, when you look at here, come down here, I have a lot of database, but this I'm actually going to be making use of only this particular one. It's already here. Go check, both of them are the same database name and database username. Then what I'm going to say is I click on add to add what we call privileges. Now, adding privileges means that this particular stuff, this particular content comes in as a default. What you have insert, what you have drop, what you have execute, what you have select, what you have all these statements. You're actually going to be needing that if you are programming your applications. These are some of the statements you are going to be writing in order to insert your data on the SQL. So you can see on the top there we have my privileges, user and the database information. Now what I'm going to do is to add all privileges, then click on make changes. Now I'm going to be copying this username, database username and password to keep it in a very safe place. So I'm actually going to be needing that on my during the process, configuring my database. So here now we have our password and then our database. Next thing we're going to do, let's check the file we're actually uploading if you have completed. So it has completed 100% successfully with 100% here, and then a very large green background, which is very good. Now we've loaded our data without having any single problem. The next thing we are going to be doing is to extract this particular data. So we're going to extract this data. Click on extract, then say okay, yes. The data have been successfully extracted. So what we're going to be doing is to confirm if this particular empty for index here can still be empty or not still have our data. Bravo, we've successfully upload our data. The next thing we're going to be doing is to configure it. Why are we configuring this particular information? We are configuring it so that we can be able to use our SQL name. Here has content a lot of password, username, user registered name. So we're going to be using that. We're going to be using it on our SQL. So next thing we're going to do now, when you open this particular place, you're going to be seeing here is our core. This core.php is the files we are actually going to be modifying, replacing those username and password created to your own, so that whenever you want to connect the application, you can be able to access the username, access the password, access the account created. It actually means that this is where we store in our information on the SQL. So now we're going to be importing our SQL, the one I showed you on the local host. So what we're going to be doing is to look for phpMyAdmin, click on phpMyAdmin. Now the phpMyAdmin have opened successfully. Now when you look at this, you will have under Scalan consult, we actually have this data which we just created now, this particular information. Click on it, and then we are going to be importing our database, the one we just created, the one we actually have on our local host. Click on import. So this is where we're going to be browse. We're going to click to browse to get in our database name, but after not going to be using this section. What I need to do is to just drag and drop the database information there. You can browse and locate wherever you've installed your database files, which is what we call SQL. So I'm going to be using any of this. Any of this can work. Doesn't matter. Then drag and drop it here. So whenever it's done successfully. Now when you click on it, you're going to be seeing this information. We have the username. Where you see all your username, you can copy any of the username or the password to be able to log in. But they can't log in yet. If you try to log in, definitely it will not work. Let's try to do that. So this is my username. Click on login. Now try to log in. Sorry. I'm trying to meet up the time because this video is actually 15 minutes video. Oh guys, I think the video have to stop here. Please, while the video stop, this is what you actually need to do. You're going to click here and modify this file. Modify this core.html, which actually this particular file. Replace it with our own information. Then come to the profile section. Also do the same thing. Right click on this file and replace it to your own information, which is here. Look at it at this place. I already have my own. I'm going to replace it to replace this information to my own. And that's going to be also doing. We're going to also doing the same thing on the admin folder as well. On this admin folder, what we're going to be doing is that let's get the admin folder. You're going to also be modifying this information. Right click and replace it with your own database information. Same thing goes to this one. There's only 4 places